Guys, your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another She-Hulk review. Let's yeah, man. So yeah, you seen the title of the video, She-Hulk episode 4. Is this not real magic? Obviously we're on the 4th installment now. I keep forgetting how many episodes I said, but I think my son told me there was 9. I hope there is 9 and not 6, because if there's 6, we're gonna have problems because it took a long time to get into different stories and stuff. But I feel like with today's episode, I think I've finally got a grasp on how the show's gonna be going forward, and how they want it to be. Some things are not to my liking, some things are. I think it's quite funny. Comedy doesn't always hit though. Sometimes the funny parts are like little jokes, but when they try and hit the big ones and that, they just don't land. But yeah, this particular episode was pretty much based on the fact that Jennifer Walters was the attorney for Wong in this episode. So there was a student by the name of Donny Blaze, which I think everyone thought that was going to be Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider and stuff like that. I feel like the makers knew that everyone would think that as well. And I think they purposely made it like that in the trailer where the name was a bit budged out, because obviously some of the stuff that Donny Blaze does in terms of using the sling ring and stuff and opening portals, obviously Ghost Rider can do that with his chains and stuff like that. But yeah, Donny Blaze, he was an ex student from Comatage who got kicked out, removed, took his sling ring with him and basically practiced the magic on his own, which is not good because obviously it's at a detriment to the rest of the planet. If somebody's doing mad things, it can mess up different portals and timelines and all these kind of things. So yeah, so we do kick off with that. He's just a regular magician, and it's how he makes his money. But his day-to-day magic isn't working. It's not hitting. People don't like it. They find it boring. So he has a mentor who's with him all the time. And pretty much told him to use the sling ring to do that kind of magic, which worked. He had an assistant, I think, of the name of Madison, and she was. I'm not like for me, she was one of the best parts of the episode. She was like this LA like bobblehead, like airhead kind of girl. But I found her funny. Like the actor seems pretty good, to be fair. So she really added the comedic value to this episode. And yeah, he sent her through the portal as a magic trick and couldn't bring her back. So she made a deal with a demon and she landed back in Wong's place at Comatage. And then that's where you get the interaction between her and Wong, and that's where Wong found out like this ex-student has been using the powers. So he goes to seek the help of Jennifer Walters. Basically says, I want to make an example of him. And you know, she goes down her law proceedings of, did you get him to sign an NDA and all these different things? If not, then it kind of can't be illegal, but they take it to court anyway. Now, I'll say a couple of things in this. I'll start with the negatives. I don't really like, this is not like a massive thing, but obviously Wong has always added comedic value since the first time we saw him in the MCU. But he does it slightly, you know what I mean? In Doctor Strange, there was him with, I think there's something with the Wi-Fi, no, that was actually Doctor Strange. I think there was a part when he was listening to Beyonce and stuff like that. Always added comedic value, but he's never been dumb. He's a smart guy. He's aware of things, and they made it seem like he's a bit of a donut. Like he didn't know that there wasn't laws protecting other people using the magic and stuff. I'm like, why wouldn't he know he's the Sorcerer Supreme? Of course, he has to know, because he has to be aware of everything what's going on. He has to keep his ears to the street. He's in New York, so didn't really like that. I'm gonna keep the CGI thing brief this week, so obviously I go over it every week. So I'll say, again, it looked terrible, and I realise now, I don't know why I talk about it all the time, because obviously they made all of these episodes together, so of course they're going to be the same CGI. But I will give a positive. When it's at night time, there was parts in this where Jennifer was in a house, and when she was at restaurants, I think one was a bowling alley as well. Like the CGI looks fine then. Like she actually looks good in them moments. But obviously when it's pure daylight, it just looks like a cartoon. It looks like a GTA cutscene. That's how I really mean it. But another negative thing is I feel like they don't focus enough on the side characters. So obviously Jennifer Walters is the main character, but if you look at any TV program, the best ones work when there's multiple stories going on at the same time, and then obviously you spend more on the main character. Now, because this show is a law show but with a bit of comedic value, I think that they need to do a bit more in the courtrooms, because it doesn't seem that serious. and there's not enough exploring the division that she works in. I thought they were going to have loads of different cameos, maybe not from people that we initially already know from the Marvel Universe, but people that we know from comics that would get put in the courtroom and stuff like, oh, that's a bit of an Easter egg, that person's there, but didn't really seem to be like that. And I would like it, to be honest. Yeah, but the side characters feel like just that. They feel like side pieces to not even a bigger picture. And if it's gonna be a court show and you're gonna handle like a different case every episode, which would be the way to go, you probably should have a bigger case running in the background, which culminates in whatever the last episode is. Now, I'm always guessing that it's gonna be to do with Titania coming back, and they did go into this a little bit in this episode because she was released from prison. The other side in story to this was obviously the fact that the previous episode Jennifer was attacked. They didn't explore that too much, but she did decide to like start dating. She went on a dating app. She wasn't getting no luck as Jennifer Walters. As soon as her friend convinced her to go on there as She-Hulk, she got all the attention. She went on all these dates. Little things I picked up on which might not be anything, but one of the dates she went on, I think it was the first date, it was like this geeky kind of guy. I think he was a movie director, and he was asking all these questions about her strength and her powers and is she super strong? Has she got night vision? Is her skin impenetrable and all this business? And he asked about, is it like, what about if they use vibranium? And I was thinking, he kind of sounds like one of the people who attacked her in the last episode. So I wonder if some of the people on the speed date were there to get information from her, for the bigger picture. Because I think the bigger picture is probably going to be they work for Titania. Titania works for somebody else as well, and they're trying to get her blood, use it on Titania so they can make their own She-Hulk. Probably to put her in the Thunderbolts. That makes the most sense to me. She had a date with David Otunga. If you're a wrestling fan, you know who David Otunga is, and his wrestling gimmick and real life was the fact that he was a lawyer that went into wrestling. So that was cool. He was asking about deadlifting and bench pressing, and then she was starting to get fed up. She met somebody she actually liked. They hit it off, and then Wong needed her help because the other guy opened the portal and let these little demons in and stuff like that. So she got dragged away from her date. When she came back, they did their thing. She took him to the bedroom, and that's what everyone saw in the trailer when she's holding that man. And she seemed to really like him. They hit it off, but obviously the next morning she wakes up and she's Jennifer Walters again. She's not She-Hulk, and the man's very disappointed. She's very excited for him to wake up. She made him breakfast and stuff, and he's like, "Nah, I'm alright. I gotta go." And it is almost this dynamic she's got now, this inner battle where she's arguing with herself like, do I be She-Hulk or do I be Jennifer Walters? Because it seems like everybody wants her as She-Hulk at the moment. She's more popular as a lawyer as She-Hulk. People like her fetish-wise as She-Hulk. As Jennifer Walters, it's not much. And at the moment, they're not really doing much as a TV program to make us feel that she's better as Jennifer Walters either, because they said this is this big shot lawyer and stuff like that. Well, they lost the case in court over the cease and desist they gave Donny Blaze for Magic. And then they only got him to sign it because the help closed the portal in the first place. But I don't know how that's going to work. And then, yeah, the last scene of was her friend tell on the TV what I just said about Titania being released. And then the door knocks, and it's a man who's, I think it's called in America, you've been served papers. The papers what were served were the fact that the name She-Hulk has been copyrighted by Titania, which is a smart move. She got released and copyrighted the name straight away. Obviously, She-Hulk's like, that's my name, but technically it's not, because you got named that by the fans first of all. You don't own the name. So I'm thinking, is the next thing going to be for the last few episodes that there's a court case between her and Titania about the name? That's fine, but there's not enough risk in this program. There feels like nothing feels dangerous in this. So it's so as a superhero or as a hero or somebody with enhanced powers, I don't feel the risk in this. So I don't know what's going to happen. You can't be fighting her over your name. Maybe the fact that she'll be in a court case soon where she has to go and defend somebody in real life being She-Hulk and do the court case at the same time. And she'll probably lose the court case if she doesn't appear. Then it'll be her being a strong woman, juggling both things at the same time and juggling Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk at the same time. And then I guess by the end it comes the culminate as one person. Because she's not like the Hulk. She is just the same personality and everything as She-Hulk. She just looks different. So gonna be interesting to see. I had fun in the episode, but I had fun in the last 15 minutes of it. The first whatever wasn't that fun for me. I like the whole dating thing. Shouldn't have been made such a big deal, to be honest. She's a woman, and people date, and she's only been She-Hulk for not that long. So yeah, that was it. Post credit scenes was Wong and Madison. They seem to be proper friends now, and she was in Comatage again. She was in a onesie, chilling, watching Sopranos, spoiling Sopranos for Wong, and asking him about different drinks and stuff he likes. I wouldn't mind seeing that relationship blossom, even if it's a friendship. But the dynamic between them is really fun, because if you've watched this episode, and I'm sure by the time you've watched this review, you would have. Madison is she's a fun character, and like I said, the acting's on point as well. But I'll leave it there. I've been your boy Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Comment below. Let me know what you think. What was your best part of this show? What you like, what you don't like, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Run.